everyone, and welcome back. I am the Sovereign, and this is my court. I'm sure that you saw the thumbnail and you are just hyperventilating right now because for the first time ever, I have guests here in the court for you all, and I'm sure you are very excited and you see the wonderful faces that we have with us. But let me introduce them for those of you who may not know, or you're not familiar with them, or you just want to hear their introduction once again. These beautiful title holders from Denmark. We have Miss Earth Fire Mikala. We have from the Philippines, Miss Earth Water, Roxanne Allison Bayens. I'm trying with the names. You guys know that I am the queen of mispronunciations, but I'm trying. Hailing from Venezuela, we have Miss Earth Air, Stephanie, hi, and Miss Earth 2020, my fellow countrymen, Lindsay Coffee. Hi, ladies. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have you here on the channel. First ever guest I've ever had on the channel, ever. And it's like queens. Not gonna fangirl, I want to, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna try not to. But just welcome. And how is everyone doing? Are you all safe? What's going on where you are?
I'm doing well. So right now I'm currently in Florida for an award show, and it's so nice to take a break from the weather up in the Northeast. So being down here near like the Panhandle, it's like mid 70s. So it's not too hot, not too cold. It could still be sweater weather, but with a pair of shorts. So yeah. I'm honestly like, I'm amazing right now.
Yay. What about everyone else?
Yeah, hello everyone. I'm Stephanie Say, Mr. Venezuela 2020, and right now I'm living in Caracas, Venezuela. And well, Venezuela, we are living with a lot of restrictions, in quarantine, but I'm sure that everything will be okay. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Well, as for me, I'm on. Oh, okay. You go first. Yeah, you go.
No, you go first, Roxy.
Okay. Well, as for me, I'm still on cloud nine, and I'm having a blast just with the interviews we have with my Eco Queen sister. So this just made me realize that this is just the beginning, and it's gonna be an amazing, amazing reign, of course. Yes. And here in the Philippines, the past months we have had a lot of storms. So I'm just happy now that it's December. There are no more storms. I hope it would continue like this. This is my wish as a Christmas gift also for my fellow Filipinos. No more storms. Yeah.
And I am Michaela, and I'm Miss Fire. So I'm right now in Copenhagen, Denmark, and I am doing great. I hope everyone is staying safe out there and is taking care of themselves. And right now, winter has definitely hit Denmark. It's very, very cold. So I'm kind of jealous of everyone else who's in the warmer weather.
Well, I'm in California, and trust me, we're not really getting much of that right now. So. But congratulations to all of you. Some of you saw the video. We were very ecstatic to see you compete. It was so wonderful. And I'm so happy that we have such great title holders. So my channel is kind of a gateway for a lot of new people coming into pageant world. They are experiencing it for the first time, and they may not necessarily be aware of the purpose that Miss Earth serves or their subsequent title holders. So Lindsay, can you please fill us in, for those of us who don't know, what the purpose of Miss Earth is and your job as a title holder?
So the Miss Earth organization, it's been around for 20 years now. We just had our 20th anniversary, and they've had the same mission every single year. So we're all about environmental protection, environmental action, and just overall climate justice. So it's about making an impact, encouraging others to make a difference, and just making that change yourself. So as a title holder, it is my duty to advocate for that, for our world, because our Mother Nature doesn't have a voice. So it is up to us to be that voice for her. So I'm so excited to take on that journey, because even whenever I was young, I was a little environmentalist. So being able to actually have a title holder and a responsibility that is far more greater than I could have ever imagined puts me in such a tremendous role and gives me such an opportunity to make that impact, to make that difference. So that is what I'm looking forward to as a title holder. That is my job as a title holder. And I would not ask for any other job at this incredible moment, because now more than ever, we need voices for our planet.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much for that. Before I start asking all of my questions, did the Miss Earth organization warn you guys about me? Were you prepped?
Oh goodness. Maybe not. Now I'm nervous.
Because when
Nothing warn us about. You're great.
I know maybe a couple of you have done your background research, but at the end of one of the videos where I was talking about Miss Earth, I had been invited to several of your, press events. I was at 2 of them, but I don't think any of you were there. I missed you. But at the end of my video, I had said like, oh my gosh, I wish Miss Earth could just like give me an hour where I could just grill all the girls and ask them all the environmental questions. And then 2 days later, they were like, hey, you want to do it? So I was like, did you see that? Or do they just happen to just throw you guys into the fire? I promise I'm going to be nice. It's nothing too hard.
Bring it on.
For not everybody is, I guess, as environmentally aware as some of you women are. So getting into the conversation, I kind of wanted to start off simple and kind of see where you were personally on your environmental journeys, what things that you have implemented into your everyday lives, starting off with like simple things, moving on to more difficult, more intensive environmental projects. So the first thing I think would be the easiest is, how does everybody, are you guys still using things like plastic straws, or have you moved away from that personally?
Should we just chime in, or do you want to?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I've always been aware and self-aware of my actions when it comes to the environment, but just these past couple years, it's just been amplified, and especially during this Miss Earth journey, it's changed me so much mentally, where when I see somebody else committing maybe something that's not very eco-friendly, in my head, it just sears inside of me, and I just look at them and I'm like, they shouldn't be doing that. Like, they need to do this. There's so much alternatives. Like, I need to tell them this. And everything bothers me. Like, I feel it. And I'm like, I need to say something. And so I've always been like, oh, they shouldn't do that. But it's never affected me to this level, to this extent. So what I just do, some of the daily things, yes, I really do try to avoid plastic straws. And I do have my own metal straws. I do my recyclable, reusable water bottle. And I have a reusable bag. So there are so many small behavior modifications that I do make that I commit to. But on a larger scale, I want to be more proactive with my social media, with my voice, with my platform, and be more active in not just a communal level, but a worldwide level, where I can now have the platform to throw out even virtual challenges worldwide, where I ask the viewer, like, do this for a day, do this for a week, try to make one eco-friendly choice a day and see what happens. So try to limit your overall carbon footprint. So that's like the main large scale behavior modification that I am aiming for at the moment. And I try to involve myself more so in a lot of different organizations, where normally it would be a lot of litter cleanup and river cleanup. And I'm even just trying to expand on food related issues as well, because with the climate crisis, we also have food scarcity as an issue, as our Miss Earth Water Roxy, her advocacy is urban agriculture. So she knows a lot about that. And yeah, so right now it's just about taking those small scale behavior modifications and just making that into a large scale.
Awesome. Thank you. Stephanie, what about you? What have you implemented into your life to be more environmentally aware? Are you staying more on the easy side with just like maybe having reusable bags or plastic straws, or are you getting into like more difficult, more intensive things like giving up meat? Like, how far have you gone?
Yes. First of all, I would like to say that I have been speaking in English and in Spanish, because you know that my native language in Venezuela is Spanish, but don't worry, because I have with a good translator, okay?
Thank you, translator.
Okay. He estado implementando pequeños cambios en mi vida, pero sé que harán grandes cambios en el planeta.
So I have been implementing some small changes in my life, but I know there are going to be big changes in the future for the planet.
Por ejemplo, quiero enseñarles el primer cambio que hice desde que empecé a ser consciente de que nosotros somos los primeros causantes de todos los problemas ambientales, es cambiar el pitillo de plástico por un pitillo de metal más amigable con el medio ambiente.
So I want to show you the first thing that I implemented as an environmentalist. It's a simple measure. Just get off plastic straws and using a metal straw, a reusable metal straw.
I firmly believe that we are the change, and the best way to create awareness is being a role model, a good example for other people with our behavior, with our actions in the society. On the other hand, my biggest goal as an ambassador of Miss Earth organization is to promote education to people around the world about 5 Rs, about reduce, reuse, recycle, respect, because I firmly believe education is the foundation for every society. And it's not a secret that in Venezuela we are living in a difficult time right now, but when we finally overcome this crisis, I will be visiting Venezuelan school, promoting education to our future generations. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Roxanne, what's going on with your life over there? Are you on the short side of more impacting towards food or what you use in everyday use, or have you gone to some of the extremes? Because I do have environmental friends. Some of them recycle like their shower water. So I'm trying to see like how far you guys have gone.
Well, I'm very blessed because I'm actually a daughter of an environmentalist. So as young as the age of 6, I was already aware with nature responsibility, and knowing that not all people has that privilege to be educated about the environment. It's just sad. So I'm just happy that this Miss Earth pageant paved the way for us to have a more inclusive reach, and we could find power in our voices to speak about Mother Earth. Since sometimes it's not their fault. Like we had this discussion yesterday that we couldn't like get angry at people who does detrimental effects to the environment. Better yet, let's educate them. So with the little things, I do not use single-use plastics, definitely not. And just a while ago, I partnered up with an organization. I'm glad we were able to talk about it. This is a straw that is edible. It's called rice straws. So we're promoting it here now. So I'm really happy. This is a great step towards sustainability. And on the larger scale, I of course advocate about urban gardening and agriculture, since it is what I am more familiar about. Because if you have an advocacy, it's better that it's something you are familiar and very passionate about. So since we have this COVID-19 pandemic, at first my advocacy was all about regreening, because here from where I live, there are a lot of trees that are cut down. But when it transitioned to the COVID-19 pandemic, I decided to connect it more to food security, since a lot of people lost their jobs. And mostly here in the Philippines, not all people could eat three meals a day. A lot of my fellow Filipinos and also people around the world are going hungry. So I thought that if I could open the eyes of the people, learn how to plant and harvest their own food at home, at least they could feel that sense of security and people will no longer go hungry. That's what also motivated me to partner up with Zero Hunger Philippines. So I quit my job. I am now volunteering full time, and I'm working with the Department of Agriculture here in my country, where we give away free seeds to plant. So I'm also teaching people how to sustain those plants. So at least in that way, they can grow their own food. And it has so much potential benefits. It also does boost mental health, since it gives you a sense of responsibility. And I think that's what nature is sending us. That's the message nature is sending us, to go back to the basics. Embrace having a minimal life and start urban agriculture at our own homes. I have this winning answer during Miss Philippines Earth, that a green life is a better life. I think that's what did secure my win, and I stick by that every day.
Yes, ma'am. I watched it. I'm hoping those straws aren't too good though, because then I would just like eat them. So
they're actually really good.
Yeah, that might be. I'm like, it's good for the earth, bad for my diet.
Oh, that's so funny. It's like, what did you have for lunch today? Oh, I had like 4 straws.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Michaela, what is life for you like in Denmark? What are you doing to be more environmentally friendly?
Well, I have to say, I agree with what all of the ladies had said. I think it's so inspiring to listen to them all. I will say in Denmark, a lot of things that I do is not, anything out of the norm in Denmark. It's very implemented in our culture. So I would say, for example, like straws. It's really hard to find plastic straws today, even, if you go to the restaurants. You really have to go look for it. Most of the straws are made of recycled materials. And also, we do waste management in Denmark. It's like every second Dane does waste management. It's almost like a legal requirement. I think the government is working on making it a legal requirement, but as of right now, it's something that most areas have implemented. So it's second nature too, that you don't just throw out, plastic. You have to sort it into the categories so they can be reused and recycled. So it's something that's just so implemented in our culture. I would say even when you go to the grocery store, you buy the fruits and vegetables, you buy it without the plastic wrapping. And you buy locally most of the time. So I would say all of the small things you can do is very implemented in the culture already. So it doesn't feel like anything out of the norm for me. And also I've been a vegetarian for 8 years. I started being vegan for 4, and then I went to vegetarian. So I don't eat meat at all, and I stay away from buying fur. I believe in you can have the fake fur. There's so many options to have if you want it for the looks instead of getting the real fur. So I will say I agree with all of the ladies. And for me, it's not even an effort to me. It's something that I grew up with, and it's something that for me is just a part of my everyday life.
Thank you. Actually, that was going to be one of my questions because I'm aware of what's going on in Denmark. Your law was passed December 6th of 2019. They implemented very, very stringent law that actually progresses every 5 years, where you guys actually up the ante and you're trying to achieve a carbon neutral zone by 2050. And they take major steps in implementing it by law. So you guys are actually very far ahead of everyone. So we'll talk about that more because Denmark's impressive. You're impressive. Okay, Stephanie, I do have a question for you. Venezuela ranks among the world's most ecologically diverse countries. How is climate change uniquely affecting Venezuela in a way that maybe the rest of the world may not be aware?
Bueno, es un tema complicado. En Venezuela estamos experimentando muchísimos cambios. Vamos por épocas. Hemos experimentado épocas de muchísima sequía que ha causado mucha preocupación para mi país.
Well, it's a very complex issue. We have gone through different stages. We have had years with terrible droughts.
Pero una de las peores cosas que estamos viviendo no es solamente el cambio o las acciones del medio ambiente, sino nuestras acciones como ser humano de que somos los peores enemigos del medio ambiente porque contaminamos nuestras playas, nuestros mares, nuestros espacios verdes.
But the most serious issue is what's happening with the people, because we are the culprits. We're the main culprits of environmental damages with polluting our seas, our environment in general.
I would like to create awareness in my country, first of all in my country, Venezuela, about the biggest environmental killer are us with our behavior, with our actions. And as I mentioned before, the best way to create awareness about this real and critical fact is promoting education and information about the current situation. And I am fighting into being a role model in my country, Venezuela, and of course in the world.
Thank you. Roxanne, the Philippines is also full of great biodiversity, while also becoming a more industrialized nation. How is your country working to balance environmental responsibility with economical development?
Well, here there are a lot of, like, it started in my city, like there have been a lot of protests because a lot of trees are being cut down to put up structures for economic development. But I'm glad that when our politicians were changed, when we had the new set of politicians, there was a program that was developed called the Aggressive Regreening Program. So now we're trying to be more sustainable. Like in my school, in college, when they decided to build around trees, so it's more about embracing economic development but also being sustainable when making decisions. So I'm very glad that we actually have that, and we're realizing that we do not have much time. Our actions are already irreversible by 2030. So even small steps like such as that program, it already made a substantial change here in my country.
Wow, yeah, I was not aware of the protests going on, so that's why we have you guys here to teach us. I had no idea. Lindsay, in the United States, environmental issues have seemingly become political. Why do you think that is, and what can we do to inspire change in our leaders?
So within the US, especially these past few years, we have created such a divide amongst groups through our party affiliations, and it's caused a lot of issues where it's making it very difficult to govern. And having our leaders being either far left or far right, it's very difficult to have that moderation, that moderator in the middle. When it comes to inspiring change within leaders, especially those who do not even believe in climate change, it's hard for me to understand, because we have concrete evidence suggesting we have factual information suggesting that we are 1 degree away from a serious tipping point in our Earth's atmosphere, which will cause famine, droughts, heat waves, a decrease in our already limited water supply. We will have more frequent catastrophic floodings, entire ecosystems will collapse, and a third of all life on Earth will face extinction, just from that 1 degree. We have that evidence. It is written down, it is brought forth to us. That is indisputable. That is why facts are facts. So whenever we have people denying science, we're not going to get anywhere by that. That is not how we're going to find solutions, because we need to respect the science that is brought forth to us. We need to respect physics and chemistry. There's mathematical equations just similar to the laws of nature that cannot be broken. So they are undeniable. Whenever you have this perfect equation brought forth to you, the only reason that you're denying that is just you're denying the truth. You're literally having the truth in front of you and you aren't able to accept it. So that is why it is so unfathomable for me to think that our leaders are having a difficult time, some of them, understanding that climate change is real, because you can't dispute facts. So whenever I approach people that are denying climate change and its existence, I often try to ensure them that everybody has their own climate story and has been affected by the climate crisis in one way or another, whether they realize it or not. So it's all about finding that climate story that is personal to you, that you can see the connection to the climate crisis, whether that be fallen ill to a respiratory illness brought on, such as asthma from poor air quality, or a heat-borne illness. We also have people that have experienced a lot of natural disasters themselves that are often off the East Coast of America, where we have like Louisiana and a lot of coastal there that suffer from rising sea levels. So we have so much of this information and we see it. So how can you deny that? Whenever somebody is in that state of denial, it is very difficult to get through to them. But that's why you have to keep on speaking up, raise your voice, keep on showing them the facts, because persistence is key in this scenario. And that is how we create a movement of change. We can't just give up. That is why it's so crucial to be as constant as you can.
Yes, I totally, what is that? Okay. I just got a notification from Zoom. That was very weird. I don't know why. Okay, so Lindsay and I are from the same country. We're both United States citizens, but we are struggling over here when it comes to getting everybody on the same boat when it comes to environmental awareness and being for change or trying to reform things. So the elemental queens, because you're not United States citizens, can you tell us from your perspective what effects you're seeing the United States as a huge industrial power have on the rest of the world when it comes to our environmental footprint? Maybe if they hear it from you guys, they'll understand and take it more to heart. Let's go with Miss Denmark, because you're ready and you're there. I see you.
Yes, hi. So you're saying from our point of view, how we view the United States?
How is our country affecting the rest of the world, or your country in particular?
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, it has a huge effect because it's a huge country. It's a huge, when you look at the geographic size of the United States, it's huge. It's a huge powerhouse. So, of course, a lot of the carbon footprint will come from that country. So, you know what, the thing is, I think Lindsay has said before, be more than your country. And that's what I will say, because we can only do so much. I mean, in Denmark, we can do a lot of things, but it's not going to have an impact if the rest of the world is not following. We're only, able to do so much because we're so small. So it's really important that especially those countries with big industrializing areas that are really letting out a lot of carbon footprints, that they do something. Again, I will say that we all have to stand together. With that, I think it's more than just people of the earth, it's also the governments, because the governments are able to make legal requirements, they're able to pass laws, and that way you can force people to follow those laws. As Lindsay said, there will always be people who are in denial about what's going on, and the only way to get those people on board is by making laws that everyone has to follow. and also what you make available to people. I mean, if their only option is to buy, certified products or clean products, or if the country decides to use sustainable and renewable energy, like that's what's available to people. Again, if you can choose between plastic and non-plastic when it comes to fruits and vegetables, and if there's only one option and you can only choose the farmers' vegetables that it's not in a plastic container, that's what people will go with. People will go with what's available. So I think it's really up to the government to take the step and also work together. So that's something I really hope they will take to heart, and also do more with, finding renewable solutions, solar cell energy, wind turbines. I mean, there's so many options. Also, I think we need to reinstall our power stations so they use biomass instead of oil and coal. I mean, there's so many steps to take, and I will say that the United States has a huge impact on the world.
Stephanie, your country has a lot of protected lands. So I know that the United States loves to get either meat or different resources from that area of the world. What type of impact is affecting the citizens in your country?
Bueno, quiero decir que los Estados Unidos no es el único país que necesita crear conciencia sobre climate change, sobre que la madre tierra necesita nuestro apoyo. Creo que son muchísimos países, incluyendo a Venezuela, donde necesitamos crear conciencia.
Well, I think it's not only the United States that needs to become aware and raise awareness about environmental issues and environmental protection and climate change, but I think it's up to us as people also.
But no problem, because I'm sure that Lindsay will be making a change and creating awareness in her country, in the United States. Lindsay for president.
Right? I would totally vote for that. We haven't had a female president yet. It could happen. You already won. You're on a streak. Roxanne, what type of effects are you feeling in your country from major industrialized nations?
Well, first off, I just want to say I'm very happy that the newly elected president in your country loves the environment, and I heard that he wants to reconnect with the Paris Agreement. So it's so nice to have leaders like that, since the USA is one of the countries that is looked up to the most by all, of course, like me in the Philippines. So it's good to have leaders like that. So you did a good job of electing a very good president. And of course, in the USA, there are a lot of people. It's overpopulation, which is causing a lot of detrimental effects, such as, of course, the greenhouse gas emissions, and there are a lot of detrimental effects, mainly because of overpopulation. And this doesn't only happen in USA; it happens around the world. And I think to address this, there should be more of educating, mostly the younger ones, to also prevent teenage pregnancies, since the numbers and the data are crazy right now, all the teenage pregnancies. So I think that's a good step towards lessening the population, since we're really in a bad situation, not only in the USA, like also here in the Philippines. So it's more of educating people. So that's my idea about it.
Thank you. And with that, I think we can go back to Michaela, because there is the question that I wanted to talk to you about. Denmark is one of the most advanced nations when it comes to environmental laws and awareness. How have you been able to, or your country and your government, been able to foster so much support and garner so much empathy for the planet and bring about these huge changes that you don't see in other countries? How were you guys able to do that? We need to learn from you.
You know what? I think that the secret to that lies in our worldview, and also just the government promoting equality. And we have a free healthcare system, we have free school systems, education is free. In fact, we pay people to study, and that way we let the young people focus on their studies, so they don't have to worry about working, while they're studying. So I think it's just in the whole culture that we have, and we're also one of the happiest people in the world, apparently. So I think everything is connected with how the country is built and run. And yes, actually, there was a survey that showed that every second Dane thinks that our government should focus even more on environmental and climatic issues. And at the same time, the government just issued a statement giving 10 billion Danish kroner solely for environmental and climatic issues. So that makes me so happy to see how much our government is backing up, and also again our people, like that it's never good enough. You know, we can always do more. And I think that is also a secret and a huge reason why we're so, you know, such a front runner when it comes to renewable and energy and solutions, because we never stop. We always adopt new plans, and we always keep looking forward and saying, okay, what can we do next? How can we do even more? You know, as soon as we reach a goal, we set a new one. So I think that's extremely important, to never just lean back and say, oh, that is it. You know, we accomplished it. We're done, guys. You know, we always want to do more. And even, I mean, if we look at renewable energy last year, I think it was 47% of Denmark's total electricity consumption came from wind power alone. And I know that they're working, again, they have a long-term plan. So they're working on making it to, I think it was 87% by 2035. So that is incredible. I think that's amazing. And I know that right now there's talk about connecting with our neighboring countries. So all of the countries can invest in wind turbines and just, you know, clean energy, so we can actually support each other. And again, they make businesses invest in it. And I think that is amazing. They really get everyone on board. And it's something that we talk a lot about. I was taught in school about, you know, the environment. And right now, I know even down to kindergarten, there are like coloring books that, you know, teaches children about, you know, our environment and what we can do and what will happen if we don't take care of nature. And it's like they have this little animated animal that takes them through, you know, all of the different kind of pollution there is. So I think it's implemented in the culture. And I think that's the secret, if that's what you want to call it.
Yeah, I just totally took like a shot to the heart. Like Lindsay heard that, right? Because I'm pretty sure she just said, like, you guys pay people to go to school and there's free education. And I'm like, wait, what? There's free healthcare? Like, how, what magic is over there? Like, I need to travel.
You need to come here. Yeah, come.
I was totally not expecting that. Like, I was just like, what world are you living in? Yeah, we have everything you just said. We don't have any of that. So yeah, my mind is like blown, especially since I'm getting ready to start college again. Just the books alone, the price.
Go to Denmark and study and get paid.
See, why does this nonsense? I wish in our wildest dreams, it would probably cause a war to even attempt to get something like that in the United States. Just my country. I love them, but we're having some family issues over here.
Family issues is 100% right. I support that.
Yeah. Lindsay, as Miss Earth, you have an entire year to strive to make a difference in environmental awareness. What plans do you and your supporting queens have to achieve this? What actions do you plan to take? Like, give us a hint. What are you going to do?
So we haven't been able to sit down, just us and with the Carousel Productions, to go over our entire agenda for the year, what we want to contribute and what we want to accomplish universally. So I can only speak for myself at this point. I do know the advocacy of my other sisters, but just to focus on what I would highlight, as Michaela mentioned briefly, my Be More Than Your Country campaign. So I feel the only way to accomplish and have the solution and combat the climate crisis is together, because one country can't do it alone. One country lowering their emissions is not going to make an effect. So we need everybody to really do their part to stand for more than just a citizen of their nation and a citizen of the world. So that is what I really want to push forth and address to one another. That, I mean, we have to look at each other as neighbors. We need to look at each other as not just the citizens, as just as an American or a Filipina or a Venezuelan. What is it? A Denmarkian? What's the nationality? Like, what do you call it, Denmark? But so just like to be more than that, because we all share this planet. So we're all facing the repercussions. We are all facing the consequences of our actions. It's just other countries are facing those consequences a little bit more first and are on the front lines of it. So I really want to introduce that fact. And I also want to push my advocacy of the water crisis, because I've mentioned this a few times, where there are 4 main contributors to the climate crisis, my advocacy being one of them. So the water crisis consists of a lot of different types. It's very broad. So I did choose a very broad advocacy, but it's very crucial and critical to address this immediately, because it does pose the most immediate risk to humanity and our regional stability. So this includes water fracking, water scarcity, pollution, outdated or lack of infrastructure. So if we can implement a little bit more solutions where we can implement desalination plants, harvest rainwater, focus on ecological restoration, all of these things are accomplishable. And one of the most interesting tasks that is one of the contributors to the climate crisis is pollution. Pollution is the easiest to solve, and yet we have not done that. And because of pollution, we are facing so many circumstances that have carried over from I'm losing my train of thought. It's like on the tip of my tongue. It's like the most basic word, but just like the aftermath of the effects of pollution is what I'm trying to say. Though that has such a domino effect, and it affects every life cycle, every ecosystem. It affects our air quality, it affects our water quality. So if we could have just dealt with the most easiest to fix problem of pollution, we would be in such a better place right now, yet we have not fixed it. So just to focus on what we need to focus on at this moment in order to secure our futures, that's what I just really want everyone to know and everyone to listen to, so they can make changes on behalf of themselves, on behalf of their country, and on behalf of the world.
I love how Lindsay seems totally fed up with the nonsense. Love
I'm
it.
done. I'm done.
I've had it. Michaela, because I had the same thought as Lindsay. What is the plural of people from Denmark? I thought the same thing.
Danes, Danish people.
Danish, yeah. See,
Danish. Why didn't I obviously knew that. I don't know why I couldn't.
We all knew that, but it didn't pop into the. Yeah, okay.
Danish.
We feel silly. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
A lot of people find it very difficult to connect to nature, to enjoy nature, especially during the times that we're going through right now with the whole pandemic and everything. So what do each of you most enjoy doing in the environment that might inspire others to seek out the sunshine and fresh air and overall appreciate what nature has to offer? Roxanne, let's start with you.
Well, definitely planting, as you see in my background, and I'm a certified plantita. When I translate that, it's just something like plant auntie, and it's actually a trend here in the Philippines. So, and also around the world, I've been seeing a lot of people like flexing their plants. This is my snake plant. This is my roses. So it's kind of cool, and that's what I want to do as Miss Philippines Earth and now Miss Earth Water. I want the trend to continue even though restrictions are lifted, since it became a trend because we have more time now amidst this COVID-19 pandemic. So I hope that even when restrictions are lifted, we would still continue the trend, continue planting. Also, because it's a good step towards regreening. And I feel very heartbroken seeing what has happened in the Amazon and areas like the Australia, that are vessels holding a huge amount of where the oxygen is coming from. So just imagine if all the people, at least a plant, just one plant, imagine if everybody decides to plant. That's a big step towards sustainability and regreening, and that might extend our life here on Earth for it to be still habitable. So I choose planting, definitely, and it's something I'm very passionate about and have the knowledge, like complete knowledge for it.
Okay, side question, because that's actually my commitment. I was going to start composting, but I have to like get over my fear of worms. So are you okay with that? Like, were you able to do it? How were you able to with the worms?
I love vermiculture. It's just recently that I was able to learn about it, and I actually had a chance to learn about it with special children. It was really fun. I'm not a fan of like worms at first, but like when I held them, they're cute, they're squishy, and what they do. Yeah, it's easier to like make fertilizer and like have these compost. So it's really fun. You should try it.
I know that was going to be like my promise to you guys. I was going to try composting. It's the worms. I'm going to do it. I might cry, but I'm going to do it.
You feel better afterwards. Yeah.
Stephanie, what about you? What are you enjoying in nature that might inspire others to get outside?
Well, during all the quarantine, I have been doing my workouts in nature, in green spaces, because it's not a secret that the gyms have been han estado cerrados, has been closed in Venezuela, and I think that in the rest of the world. I am using my social media, my platform, because estoy segura que muchísimas personas nos siguen como reinas de belleza y se inspiran de todas las cosas que hacemos. Entonces, me encanta ser un buen ejemplo con mis historias, con mis posts de Instagram.
So I'm sure our followers are always look up to us as beauty queens and as a healthy example. So I'll try to do my social media to promote people to get out there and enjoy nature.
En Venezuela, por ejemplo, las futuras generaciones, todas esas niñas que quieren seguir el ejemplo, nos imitan. Entonces es muy importante el uso que le damos a las redes sociales. Yo suelo colocar ecotips, suelo colocar fotos y videos promoviendo sembrar árboles, cuidar el medio ambiente, y creo que es una de las mejores formas de ir educando a la sociedad.
And for example, here in Venezuela, especially the future generations, the little girls also follow us on Twitter and try to do as we do. So I always try to promote eco tips and environmental issues like planting a tree and stuff like that, because I know they will do as we do. They will follow our example.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay. So yeah. So you have like workout tips on Instagram?
Yes. Yes.
Just saying. Okay. Like that. Lindsay, what do you enjoy doing out in nature that might give us some ideas so we can get out of quarantine?
Yes. So this actually, I was sitting on a panel for mental health at FEU University in Manila in the Philippines. It's Far Eastern University. So as a mental health peer counselor, I was talking about the mental health, the side effects, the positive benefits of immersing yourself in nature and plant therapy. So plant therapy can be a range of anything. It can be, as Roxy mentioned, having that green thumb, going out and planting in your garden, just even planting indoor plants in your house. You can have a holistic approach to it where you dabble with essential oils, some type of holistic herbal medicine. You can also go hiking. You can work out outside, as Stephanie suggested. You can just any type of where you have like your hands in the dirt, your feet on the ground, anything that immerses you in the natural state of this planet. So just focusing on plants, leaves, trees, anything that you can get your hands on, that in nature, that is considered plant therapy. And it has been shown in recent studies that it can help lower anxiety, depression, stress, and it also helps people, even kids with ADHD, where they find themselves in nature. Nature has this effect on us where we want to see what's going on because there is a lot that goes on around us. So it really gathers our attention. So with children and adults that have ADHD, immersing themselves in nature help them kind of concentrate and to focus on what is happening around them, because nature innately already fascinates us as humans. So being in that situation and just kind of taking in everything around them, that helps them reduce the effects and the symptoms of ADHD. So there are so many benefits to just being around in nature, especially during this time that we're in, this difficult time with the pandemic. There's a lot of people that just have been staying indoors. If you have that opportunity to either go on your rooftop, go outside, step outside your door. If you don't, just open up your window and just take in that fresh air. Whenever you accept the nature around you, it's going to help you just be centered, be calm, be a more productive member of society, because whenever you take care of your mental and physical health, that is how you can be that productive member of society, and you can make better informed choices and be more compassionate, be more empathetic, because you're in a better place yourself. So that's the message I always like to send to people, to try and really actively push them outside, and there's nothing but benefits that come with doing so.
Okay, thank you. Michaela, you have, the Danish people have all the secrets. What are you guys doing? What are you doing outside?
No pressure at all, right? Well, I want to say, yeah, definitely surround yourself with nature if you can, go to the forest or go to a park. In Denmark, of course, there's also waste. You can collect waste at the beaches or in the forest. There's even a thing in Denmark where you can rent a canoe and go along the canal, and you get a little plastic bag and you can collect waste in that bag. So it's also something that a lot of people do to make a little dance. And also, I think a lot of people just, over 50% of the Danish people bicycle to school and work every single day. So people really take walks, bicycle, and even a survey showed that the air pollution in central Copenhagen has been reduced by 80% throughout the pandemic only. I mean, 80%, that's insane. It's just in such a short amount of time. And it also shows how little it takes, how little effort it takes to really make a huge change in nature. And then, of course, me personally, I have always, in the fall, I love collecting mushrooms in the forest with my parents. We would take our dog for a walk, and it's a thing in Denmark. People go with their families and friends to just go on a mushroom hunt in the forest. And of course, in the winter, we usually get a lot of snow. So people build snowmen, they start sledding. We have I don't know what you call it, a snow war, where you throw snowballs at each other. Yeah, and of course there's winter bathing, which is a thing for the real Vikings here, that they actually will go dig a hole in the ice and just jump in.
See, I was right. They have the secrets.
Lindsay, so sorry, but I can't go to USA to visit you. I really need to go to Denmark.
Come here, Stephanie.
Let's all go to Denmark.
Denmark.
Join you.
Let's all live there.
I'm sitting here my mind is blown. You're going canoeing and collecting trash, and you guys put my motorcycle to shame. I thought I was being all environmentally friendly. You guys are riding actual bikes, and then the mushroom hunting. Okay, how does that work? What?
Yeah, you have a little basket, you take your knife, you go into the forest, and you collect mushrooms.
But how do you know which mushrooms to eat?
We just do. I think it's passed on. But you can also buy books. I mean, just don't go for the poisonous ones. That's it.
How do you know? This is this is a thing in the United States. They would never. I need to
honestly, that whole story just sounded like Little Red Robin Hood. They just kind of go into the forest and picking out goodies, and I literally just imagined you in a red cape and just in your forest.
So is she making this up to troll me? Because I'm kind of intrigued and I want to do it. I want to do it.
Come
the ice hole.
And I'll take you.
Yeah.
Mushroom hunting.
Have you yourself jumped in the ice hole?
No. I'm too much of a chicken. I can't. But even my neighbors and people around me do it. I'm too scared. I'm always cold, so I would never do that. But people are insane enough here to do it.
I've seen people in Alaska do it, but they're different Americans.
My hometown, we have every New Year where I grew up. They have some type of winter dip where on New Year's Day everyone runs into the river and just swims for a second, and I don't know how people do that. So in Denmark it's definitely going to be even more cold. So I mean, everyone you guys are crazy. Everyone who can do that, I'm cold as it is on the daily basis, so I can't jump into cold water.
Wow. I swear, I'm going to spend my entire morning researching mushrooms now. It's very intriguing. And I'm very happy that we have such intelligent women handling this very important job. You guys are very well suited to do what you do. I don't think the average person actually knows that this is in fact a job. I don't think that they know that there's a tremendous amount of work that happens after coronation. So, Lindsay, what can be done to correct the public misconceptions about what your purpose is, what pageant queens do?
So I feel like I'm the best to answer this, just because since I'm new to this, I didn't even know this answer. So I've learned it along the way. So just being new to all of this, I always had the stereotypical idea of what pageants were. But what I loved about the Miss Earth system is what I mentioned before. For 20 years, they've had the same mission and their goal has never changed. So every other platform, each girl has an advocacy that they bring forth, that they act upon. But Miss Earth is always about the planet, and it always will be about the planet. So that is why it is a job, because our agenda, it never speaking more for themselves, that speak for a universal goal, that they really want to make a difference and change the planet. So being a part of this organization, being this title holder, and it comes with so much responsibility. So we're a role model, we're a leader, and we need to focus on our strengths so we can have other people focus on their strengths in order to make this world a better place. So our main goal is to keep advocating, keep speaking, keep on having that universal front and that unity that we need in order to combat this crisis. So our job never stops, and it could be exhausting, it could be challenging, but perseverance, that is what it takes, and resiliency, that is what it takes for change. So that is our job to do, and it never ends. And we need somebody that cannot give up, can always speak for more than themselves, speak for those who cannot speak, and just keep continuing. So it is one of the most difficult challenges, because sometimes you do get despondent and unsure in whether this is going to really come out positively, because you have to give so much, but all the sacrifices that you're making, the reward is so much greater.
Wow, yeah, it's a difficult job, like I said, but I'm happy that you guys are able to do it. And Stephanie, being that environmental awareness is, why am I losing my voice? What? Being that environmental awareness is largely a youth-driven purpose and topic and advocacy, what can Miss Earth do to attract more of this youth audience to its platform and its purpose?
I am really proud to be part of Miss Earth's organization, because I consider that Miss Earth is the best platform in the world in which I can be a good example for other people, because I can use a Miss Earth platform on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and we can be, as a beauty queen, Lindsay, Mikala, Roxy, and me, we can be a role model for other girls for in the society, for example. And I am sure that we are the best team in this difficult year 2020, and together we are braver, stronger, and more united than ever. And as a beauty queen, we will be fighting and making a change in the world.
Thank you. See, my voice is still doing the thing. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's so early in the morning and my body's just like, why are you awake though? It's Saturday. That's probably what's going on. And I'm sure this has been a whirlwind for all of you. And though beautiful, a crown is not necessarily the easiest thing to wear. So Roxanne, what is something that you wish pageant fans knew or understood when it comes to the trials and tribulations of competing for a title?
Well, it takes a lot just by simply joining. There are a lot of things you have to sacrifice. As for me, I did sacrifice my job because I really wanted to be hands-on with this. So it's a lot of pressure, and it's not easy, mostly if you're the host country. So maybe I would tell people to, like, I hope they would lessen the hate, because we don't know what these girls are going through. Like, we come out so beautiful, so confident, but everybody's going through something. And sometimes those words that you tell us queens, it's what breaks us. I think we are giving up a lot. We would never to tell that we're sacrificing this and that and that. We're doing this because we really want to speak about our advocacy. So just a little support. It's okay if you do not like want us. It's okay. You have your favorites. You want to support this candidate, or you don't want this girl. It's okay that we're not here to please everybody. We're here to find power in our voices, and it's okay if you don't like us, but please do not hate. Just support whoever you like. And of course, we're just trying our best. So I also want to tell my queen sisters that it's better if we not read comments all the time, because it's true that we cannot please everybody. But for as long as we know why we join, we know who we are, and we know that we actually do a substantial change towards the environment, and that should make us proud every day. And we should embrace ourselves and just give ourselves a pat on the back. We deserve the love because we give love for Mother Earth.
100% correct. And I worry about that myself. And I do my best to, like, because I see in my comment section, people go so hardcore for their favorite queens. Like, they are diehard fans. Like, I swear they have some of the posters of you girls on their walls. They probably do. Very dedicated fans. So we try to spread the love over here as much as possible. It is a competition, but overall, we love you, of course. Micaela, what component of competition took the most preparation on your part?
Oh my God. I think all of it, to be honest. I mean, I joined the competition very, very late. So I was in such a rush to get everything done in time. I had all of these deadlines, and my motto became like every time I would have to call a photographer or makeup artist to say like, okay, so what's the deadline? I was like, well, it should have been done yesterday. That was the deadline. So that became my motto throughout the whole thing, and I was just so blessed that everyone was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go for it. So I was just, it was just about, creating. I had to create a team sometimes with 1 day's notice, and I just had to sit there in the middle of the night and just call people and be like, please help me. I need help with this. And I was just so lucky that so many people were so ready to just jump in and be like, cool, let's do this, or just recommend other people who could help. So I would say it was the time pressure for me for sure, because I'm such a perfectionist. I want everything to be perfect, and I want to be really proud of what I'm doing. And I'm a very black and white person. So when I do something, I do it at 120%. I can't do anything half-heartedly. So I really need to give it my all. And sometimes it's hard to do when you don't really have the time to do that. So I had to really, it was also a lot of self-reflection work. So like, okay, I have to do the best I can do within, the time frame that I do have. So I would say that would be the most difficult component for me, would be the time.
Wow, I can definitely, I see you there when it comes to being a perfectionist. Definitely, because people have gotten on me. They're like, why did it take forever to upload a video? And I'm just being meticulous with the background and the lighting and the color correction. And just I drive myself crazy. It's my own fault. I know. Stephanie, what part of competition gave you the most anxiety or made you the most nervous?
Esto lo suelo comentar y estoy segura que todas las reinas que están aquí presentes ya lo saben porque lo digo en todas las entrevistas.
I think the rest of the queens already know because I said it every interview.
Voy a hacer una pregunta a Lindsay, o a Mikala o a Roxy. ¿Cuál fue mi mayor reto, lo que fue más difícil para mí en la competencia?
In fact, let me ask one of the queens. Let me ask Roxy or Lindsay or Mikala. What was my biggest challenge during the competition?
Okay, girl, no. You literally had zero challenges, no problems. You were perfect. And I even look forward to every single time I saw you. And you mentioned this before. It was so, every single time you would introduce yourself and you would come in with so much energy. And you were like, I'm Stephanie Zarek, Venezuela. And it was so funny and so much energy. And I loved it. You did perfect. Not one challenge. Absolutely not.
Yeah, you slayed. You just slayed, and I just wish to come close to your confidence.
That's why I asked the question. I'm like, were you nervous at all, or is this question invalid?
Yeah, but my biggest challenge in this competition was the language, because 1 year ago I didn't know any English because my native language in Venezuela is Spanish, and I have been living in Barcelona, Spain during 2 years, and I have been speaking just Spanish. And when my national director told me that I am Miss Earth Venezuela 2020, and he told me that Stephanie, you need to speak in English because all the juries, the judges, all the judges will be speaking, estarían
asking questions.
The judges speak in English. And I say that really I need to speak in English because in Spanish I am more natural and self-confident, but my biggest challenge in this competition was to be here speaking English with you, and I know that I need to learn more English. I promise that when I go to Philippines, I will be talking with you in your language. But I am an example of perseverance, that if you really want, you can do it.
Wow. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. I was just like, what could possibly make her nervous? I honestly wouldn't have thought of the language. And me personally, because I know it's a thing in other, especially pageant powerhouse countries, that English is a huge deal. And me personally, I'm like, if you're going to be a representative to the world, it really shouldn't matter what language you primarily speak. So I would have never held that against you. Quite honestly, my mom gets mad at me that I don't speak more Spanish because she does. So I'm working on it. And then of course the Filipino fans want me to try Tagalog. And I'm just like, my second language is technically Japanese. It's just too much. It's a lot. Okay. Give me a break. Lindsay, when you finally do receive your Miss Earth crown for the first time, who is the first person that you're going to stunt on once you get your crown? I need to know. Who's it going to be?
Oh my goodness, I don't even know. I'd have to think about this. I honestly, once I get it, I can tell you I'm not going to be taking it off. So I'm going to have to find a way how to live with this on my head. So, I mean, I'll probably even do a live like on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll just be like, everybody, look what I'm about to do. And I'm going to have somebody that beautiful crown on my head, and I'm so excited for that. And it is not going to come off. Like until I give that crown up, it will be staying on my head.
Yes, girl. Yes. Like random Sunday in pajamas with the Miss Earth crown on. I approve. Highly approve of that.
Watching Netflix with my crown on, and that's it.
Yes. Like live in that thing. Live in it. Roxanne, what happens to your beautiful gown that you wore? Do you get to keep it, or do you also get to like walk around the house on a random Sunday wearing your competition gown? I would do it. So I was like, are you doing that?
I would do that either. I wish I get to keep it, but of course I have to return it to the designer. But it's very generous. Like anytime, like he's definitely gonna lend me the gown again. Like I have to use this gown once again.
Right.
Like maybe to my wedding, I would wear it like anywhere. Same here. I would wear it anywhere, even like what Lindsay said, watching Netflix. I just love the gown so much, and I have to admit that. I went back to the picture a million times. I just love the gown so much.
We love it too.
I dream about it too. Yeah.
If I had something like that, I would wear it. You couldn't pay me to get out of my dress. I'm going grocery shopping in my gown. Like, I don't care. So what can we as fans do to support all of you on your environmental endeavors? Like we're here. My court is here. There's at least 10,000 plus people going to be watching you. Give us our marching orders. What can we do to help? Who wants to start? Go for it.
What was the first question? You cut out a little bit.
What can we do, the fans, my court, the people here watching you, what can we do to support you on your endeavors, on your quest for environmental advocacy?
Just keep doing what everyone's been doing. We've all seen such an overwhelming amount of love and support, just an outpouring. And I wasn't even expecting that. And we've even received it before we were announced any winners. So having that consistent and constant support means so much to us. Like I can't even articulate my gratitude for that, because that is inspiration to us and what motivates us to keep on going. So if we can just have that continuous support, have that encouraging demeanor and response from all of you, and also just showing us what you're doing to make a difference in your community or your planet, and seeing that, because I like to call this the art of observation. When one person sees somebody doing something, somebody else is going to want to do it too. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to want to do the same thing, but if you end up seeing and crossing like 50 people in that day and they see you holding a reusable bag, at least one person is going to be like, maybe I should do that too. So just keep on being better yourselves, better your friends and family, better the planet around you, and just keep supporting one another. I'd love for you to keep supporting us, because that really does motivate us. So just overall, just be a better person today and every day after that. So thank you.
Careful what you wish for. We're very interactive on this court. Okay, they keep track of me. Like they know what time I'm at the gym. So if you ask for their support, they're gonna be there.
Spam us all the time.
I'm sure Roxanne's already getting it. You're in the Philippines. You're already getting it. But from this court, they will find you. Dedicated. Miss Denmark, is there anything that you need from us, you want to see from us? What can we do to make you smile?
Oh my God, just the same thing that Lindsay said, honestly, just be doing what they're already doing and showing their love and support and being aware and taking something away every time we'll hear these ladies speak, because I get inspired just by hearing them talk. Just take something away and think about what you can change in your everyday life. And it's just minor things, like we started this interview talking about. It doesn't take a lot of effort to do something. I will also say thank you to you so much for having us, because what you're doing is giving us a platform to speak about these things, to have a discussion, to engage with people and really spread awareness. And that is such a huge impact, because right now we can't travel, and because of the pandemic, we are stuck in our own countries most of the time. And social media is so important, and to have a platform to really spread awareness, and the more people that will see it and engage, the better. So I would say, just giving us this platform is amazing to reach as many people as we can. And I would love to, do more talks and also have a discussion with everyone watching, just engage people in the discussion, have a talk, because I think a lot of people watching probably also have really good ideas about what we can do. And I think a lot of young people have the solutions, new sustainable solutions, and people are so creative these days. So I would love to engage more.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Actually, that was one thing that I was going to address with the court, because my promise to you guys was that I obviously was going to partake in challenging myself to get over the worm thing. I'm going to do it. But I'm going to do a video because everybody's going to demand that I do it. After the video is posted, I was going to ask the members of the court, at least 10 of you, which we have about 50,000 subscribers, you guys. I should be able to get 10 or more of you to send me videos of you either advocating or partaking in environmental advocacy, or showing us what you're doing in your everyday life, so that I can compile it all into a video and we can watch and see what you're implementing and see the ideas that we get from you. So I really want to participate with the rest of the court. If any of you guys want to play along, you certainly can. Or if you want to challenge any of the courtiers or me myself, I will do my best to not cry about it. It's the bugs. It's the bugs. I'm working on it. I really am. Do any of you have any questions yourselves? Because I know everybody throws questions at you constantly, but I don't think you really get the opportunity to speak yourselves. Is there any questions you have or anything you would like to say?
Wait, do you mean questions for our sisters, or just the audience?
Either your sister, look, you have a platform, you can get them off the jump, they're not expecting it, or you can ask me questions, whatever you want to do, go for it.
I want to know, what are you doing for our planet?
Well, besides, me getting into the compost thing with the worms, I'm also one of the people that love to garden, and I have my home, my grandparents' house is where I grew up, and they're never going to move from that house. So my plan is to basically convert that entire house into an internal garden, gardens everywhere. There's so much space to do it. And I have a little brother here, so I'm trying to teach him about environmental awareness and what to do and what not to do. And he's kind of becoming annoying because now he's going behind everyone and shutting off the lights even when they're still in the room. But he thinks it's very funny, and he loves to water the plants. So because I have a very interactive, happy family, they're more than happy to partake in anything that I want to do, including YouTube. So if I ask them to help, they certainly will, especially with the worms thing. I think maybe the boys can help me. Maybe. We don't do spiders in this house, though. Do it.
Yeah, you got to get over that worm thing. I mean, I'm the same with you. I mean, yeah, that's tough for me. I get it.
I want to garden so bad, but it's just I feel like as soon as I stick my finger in the dirt, I'm being attacked by worms.
I swear you'll feel better afterwards once you try it. There's no going back.
Oxy,
I'd be okay.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Bueno, no es una pregunta, es una petición.
Well, not so much a question, it's a request.
Yo creo que tú puedes hacer magia, y si los seguidores no lo creen, haz aparecer un conejo.
I know that you can do magic, and our followers don't believe us. Can you pull a rabbit out of a hat?
that made me nervous. Well, I do magic card tricks, but I'm not the bunny with that. But that's a good idea. I have 8 bunnies. I might as well like incorporate them to me being a magician. But I just started off. So not yet the best magician. Thank you, Stephanie.
Okay.
What? First of all, we have a magical queen.
If I had cards right now, I would do a trick. Yeah.
My entire court is based off of like fantasy, and you're telling me we have actual magic here? I was not aware of this. You didn't bring us bunnies, Roxanne?
It was supposed to be my talent, but we didn't have enough time to make the costumes and the backgrounds. I just danced instead, which is I would have done magic. How cool could that have been?
Yeah.
We need to create a magic show. Like you're the magician, and all of us can be like your little like assistants on stage, and like we can just like have like an entire show created by that.
I would watch that.
In relation to like our advocacy, yeah.
Definitely an idea. And look, I can guarantee, watch the comment section once this video is posted. You're going to see a ton of comments asking for her bunnies. So you guys might as well just make the video, make a little magic show or something. I'm there.
Okay, to do. Okay, noted.
Yeah, see, we all have to-dos now. So like I said, everybody who's watching in the court, I am committing myself to challenging myself to get over my fears and get into composting so that I may create the most beautiful gardens, and I will post the video to prove that I kept my word to the queens. I will not anger the queens. I'm going to keep my word. But once my video is posted, I will be looking to those of you watching to send me your proof of your commitment to environmental awareness and becoming more involved yourself, because I would like to show the queens that their message has been heard and that we understand that they are here to help and we're listening to them. We want to show that we support them. So please start thinking. They have given you plenty of ideas throughout this video of what you can do to implement more environmentally friendly things within your household, and be prepared because I will be sending out a request. I want proof. We're an interactive court over here and I have expectations. I have expectations of you. We're not normal viewers. We're a family. We're a kingdom. We have a whole Discord where we like talk about how pretty you guys are secretly, unless you've infiltrated and you've seen it. But yes, we talk about you girls all the time. We love you and support you so much. And I want to make sure I didn't miss anything because I would be so sad if I actually missed something and then I would not go to sleep tonight. Nope, we're good. I want to say thank you to each for taking the time to appear here and be my very first guests here on the channel. I was very happy. I ran circles around the house when I found out. Drove my mom crazy, but just want to know I want you to know how important you are and how much I appreciate your attendance and your work. Make sure you guys check out the queens on their Instagrams. Make sure you send them lots of love and support and keep up with them and, probe them a little bit so they know that you love them and you're listening. Yes, I love you guys. And thank you once again to the queens. I always do the outro. Do you guys want to do the outro? I don't know if you know how to do the outro or if you have your own outro. Who's saying goodbye to everyone?
Recap. I appreciate your time this morning, and I'm so glad that we were able to contribute to your cardio workout. So thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who's doing. And honestly, I had such a good time today. This is one of my favorite interviews. So I had so much fun. I always love seeing my beautiful faces of my sisters. So thank you guys all so much.
I was actually kind of jealous. Like, I don't have sisters. I'm gonna miss you.
Me gustaría muchísimo agradecerte por esta entrevista, por este hermoso tiempo que compartimos, porque a diferencia de otras entrevistas que hemos estado haciendo, hiciste que nos riéramos y que compartiéramos entre nosotras.
Thank you so much for this interview. We had a lot of fun, unlike other interviews. You made us laugh. You made us have a really good time. Thank you for that.
Y quiero aclarar en este momento que lo del truco de magia de Roxy es porque ella siempre aparece con un conejo, tiene muchos conejos y quería ver uno.
I just wanted to make clear what I told Roxy about the magic trick. It's just she didn't take the hint. We just wanted to see the bunny. She has a beautiful bunny.
Roxy,
you were holding the bunnies?
Oh,
you had bunnies?
I got it, Stephanie. I knew you wanted to see
yes,
them. I do, yeah.
I want to see. You know how sad I would have been had I found out she had bunnies the whole time and I didn't get to see them?
So many interviews, she's just sitting there talking to us, and then all of a sudden she just pulls
someone get my baby for me. It's so cute.
¿Dónde está?
Are they coming?
I just also wanted to say thank you. This was so fun. And of course, we would miss you too, but let's hope this is not the last. I hope we could all get together here in the Philippines. I would love to be your tour guide. That would be so cool. And of course, thank you for having us. I'm a fan. Like I keep watching your YouTube videos and I can't believe like seeing you here right now. So
I'm so happy. I like seeing you guys too.
Again, like goosebumps, kilig. Yeah.
Swear you guys are so
The
much
bunny's
fun.
on the way.
I wish my college teachers were like as fun as you. I like learned so much and it's so enjoyable. If everybody taught environmental awareness the way you do, we'd be meeting our goals. Hello.
Thank you so much for having us. I mean, I would say also like everyone else said, oh my God.
Okay, okay. Later attention for let's go into Mikala first. So maybe she'll take all the attention.
But that bunny is so cute.
Okay, I'll do the outro so we can, then I want to see the bunny though. But thank you everyone for, oh my God, he's so cute. Oh, the unofficial, pet of the court of Miss Earth. It's your official pet right there. Bunnies, I'm there for it.
Biscuit, yes. Thank you, Stephanie. More exposure for my baby.
That's a thing. I'll buy it.
So cute.
It'll be like a little one. There's a little strap on it. You should get him one. Get him a bunny crown.
Oh yeah, you can get one. He's so cute.
We're ridiculous. I'm so ridiculous.
No, I want a bunny. Oh my God.
I thank you, right? Now I want a bunny. Mom's gonna kill me.
I have 8. Do you want one?
Yes.
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 I'm so jealous.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm just trying to do this. Thank you everyone for watching this video. We appreciate you so much. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up in the comments section below. Let me know your thoughts. Let the queens know what you think about their questions. Let us know what you're gonna do to get more involved yourself. I want to see those comments down there. Don't just talk about how pretty they are. We know this. They know they're pretty. Don't avoid the issue. Okay, leave your comments in the comment section below. And I love you. I'll miss you. And I will be back in a future video. Bye. And how do I do this? I don't know where the end button is. How do I stop recording?